All right.
It's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
Jack and Cornelia Addington said, "There is no problem on earth that love cannot heal." And that's pretty big. There is no problem on earth that love cannot heal. That means that whatever the question is, whatever the problem is, whatever the challenge is, the answer is love. Open yourself to love in a grander, bigger, and more spectacular way, and allow that love to be the answer for you right now.
Do you ever feel a sharp, unyielding pain? Like everything you ever lost come back again? Does the night unfold and wrap around your heart? And every time you reach the end, you're right back at the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all good children go to heaven, where they're born, where they die. Let it go without even trying. Everybody wants to see you heaven. Nobody knows where to find it. Everybody tries to find heaven in the middle of the night. Hey, alright. Saint Anthony, don't you come round here, give me no advice. An inch between a little fear and the rest of my life. I bet my money on a wooden horse in a race that never pays. I'd rather change a dollar bill than change my ways. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all our dreams that go to heaven. Spread the wings and watch them fly. Just let it go without even trying. Everybody wants to see heaven. Nobody knows where to find it. Everybody tries to find heaven in the middle of the night. Hey, alright.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you, Dan. Fantastic. Wonderful to have you with us. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. Woohoo! I am Breen Rourke, RSCP, one of the practitioners here at New Thought, Philadelphia. Today is a fifth Sunday. Every month we have a fifth Sunday. We do a healing service brought to you by the Practitioner Corps. Reverend Bill, we let him play along sometimes, but he is actually out on a retreat. So you've got myself, Jesus, and Joe Catanzaro, who are going to we're gonna put on the show here for you. So you know the rules on Zoom. Keep yourself muted, except when you're sharing, or if we're all going to share together. So let's do that. Let's go off mute, and we'll have a cacophony together. So repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to the awareness of good surrounding me.
I open myself to the awareness of good surrounding me.
I know that love is right here, right now.
I know
that love is right here, right now.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Hey, go ahead and mash the mute button one more time. And I will remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is in an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers. You have to do that when you say adventurers. Welcome each person to experience their divine nature and empowering space of unconditional love. So, whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're headed next, we've been waiting for you and welcome. Now, we believe that there is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that very same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. As we like to say, your new life begins with a new thought. Go ahead and take a moment and silence any unneeded electronic devices. If you got a cell phone, your pager, your fax machine, your ticker tape, whatever you happen to have there that might disturb you or others, as we settle into our celebration. We're going to kick things off the way we like to start everything, with prayer. Jesus Baez, RSCP, is going to lead us in our opening prayer.
Thank you, Bryn. Thank you. Let's pray. Let's settle in. I invite you to close your eyes if you're willing. The spirit is willing here and now. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice.
Good
And
morning.
be glad in it. Let's have fun together. In unity, with love and peace and joy. Let's savor the music, the gift that Dan is sharing with each one of us here. Let's rejoice in the meditation that Joe is bringing in soon, here and now. And let's stay in awe with the talk that Breen is going to be speaking about, that healing, that revealing of the truth. We are the truth. We are the way. We are the life. So grateful in this moment in time to be alive. Not only to be alive, but to enjoy the kingdom of God and everything else that God sprinkled into my life. The abundance, the goodness of God is in me, through me. And I know it's in this celebration. It's in each one of us here, because God has implanted the joy of life in each one of us. And what God has implanted, no man could uproot it. It could look like it was covered up, but it's there to be revealed in this celebration here and now. Where the human mind is implanted, that negativity or that chaos, it could be uprooted because it's the human that's put it there. And what the human put, it could take out what God implanted. It cannot be taken out. So with the talk and everything, the meditation, the music, the reading, this experience that we are having here now, the experience of love, peace, joy, wisdom, freedom, balance, intelligence, all these attributes that we possess, because it's the giver giving us the gift. The giver and the gift is one and the same. So with gratitude in my mind, appreciation in my soul, thanksgiving in my heart, I let my prayers be known to that infinite law of mind that always say yes. And once again, let's say yes. So it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, Jesus. So, prayer, why do we do it? Does it change out there? It changes us in our experience of life, and we do it because it works. So now we want to hear about how prayer is working in your life, and we call this bit Prayer Works Story. So, who's got a story of how prayer is working in your life? You can raise your hand. You can go like this. You can, like Michelle is demonstrating.
I have two prayer works. One is not that there's any little or small in God's eye, but the little one was for about 17 years, I've been trying to find keys to my house, my lake house, since my husband died. I thought, where were these keys? And I was recently saying, nothing is hidden. It's all here. And unbeknownst to me yesterday, I found a box that I felt like I've looked at other times, and I found all the keys I was looking for. So and it was kind of a joke because once my husband, he spoke at a meeting about prayer works the first time we were getting into this teaching. And I said, when he couldn't find keys, I said, we'll just stop and treat. And he did and found them. And he was first time he got up and shared with everyone. The second is my son, many people know, we were in a car accident in December, and it's just wonderful that through treatment, prayer, and he's working with Bill, and of course my own prayers that I'm holding forth for him, is healing. He had an increased sensitivity to sound, and so much so he couldn't even stand the sound of the refrigerator on at one point. And he was a DJ on his side gig, which was his passion. And I have to say that even though I didn't want him to do it, he felt he needed to try to DJ outside for an hour at a party, and he was able to do it. And yeah, it's prayer works. So I'm very grateful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Schbach. There she is.
My daughter has been praying for a trip to Australia for work, and she's going to Portugal at the end of July, and they accepted her proposal, and she's going to go to Australia for work.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, when prayer can get your work to pay for your trip to Australia, prayer works. I've got since we're talking about children, sons and daughters, my son's partner just gave birth to my first grandson. I've got, many of you guys know, I've got 3 granddaughters who are identical triplets, but we just had the first grandson. Now there was he came early, and he's in the NICU, but he's doing great. He's feeding well. He's active. All his indicators are good. He was pink and screaming when he came out. So all good stuff there. And mom is healing up, from the stuff that was going on that led to the early term birth. Yeah, prayer works, whether it's for keys or for trips or for babies. Prayer works. So give it a whirl. If you don't know what this thing is that we're talking about with practical prayer, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but you can also connect with one of the practitioners. You can find us on newthoughtphilly.org. Happy to work with you. Beautiful. All right, now let's herald in Karen with the announcements.
The healing information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. You can sign up for the weekly e-newsletter so we can keep in touch. We host a dozen 15-minute meditations every week. Drop by for some quick inspiration on Zoom. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. The Practical Prayer podcast this week is entitled, I Don't Know What to Do, with Carol and Reverend Bill. Listen where you get your podcasts. Join in for the live recording session tomorrow at 1 p.m. on New Thought Media Network. We'll be running short-form classes and workshops this summer, including a practical prayer class and an EFT tapping workshop. Details are coming soon. Every year on the 4th of July, Bill leads a bike ride along the trail from Philly to Valley Forge. To join the ride, contact Reverend Bill. Sandy leads the Power of Eight Intention Circle every Monday evening from 6:30 to 7 to help bring in new experiences into the lives of the group members. Are you getting God calls? Get a half-minute of inspiration on your phone 4 times every week, starting with a free 2-week trial. info@godcall.org. There are now more than 2,310 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. Join or drop by the daily meditation to see where they are now. And follow, subscribe, like, and share on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. We are grateful for your financial support. Please support New Thought Philly with a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes these celebrations work. We get together ahead of time to get things in order and have fun too. Email your volunteer coordinator to join the joy. Next Sunday is Online with New Thought, and as Reverend Bill explores the New Thought movement as a faith, a philosophy, or a way of life, or all of the above and more. Live original music by Jamie Lula. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Jesus is available for a quick, transformational, miracle in a moment prayer. Stick around in the Zoom meeting after the celebration for casual conversation.
All right, thank you, Karen. So this is the time where we welcome new guests. And if you're new here, I want to explain that I'm the other bald white guy. You saw a lot of pictures of Reverend Bill. I'm not Reverend Bill. He's out retreating. And the Practitioner Corps is doing our healing service. I mentioned at the top, this is our 5th Sunday. I think there's 3 times a year, maybe we have 5 Sundays. So we're doing a special healing service. And part of it is going to be candle lighting. If you happen to have a candle nearby, go ahead and grab that. If not, I've got one that I can bring into frame. I'll have to turn off my background. And you can use my candle. Bill usually has like 9 cameras that he sets up and does candle lighting. So we're going to light candles. There's not a lot of significance. There's no power in the candle itself, but it's just a representation of maybe something that you're going to work on as we talk about our healing, because this is a healing Sunday. So if you are here for the first time, we'd like to greet you. If you want to wave, give a thumbs up digitally on Zoom. We're happy to have you here. I see some names I don't recognize, but that doesn't mean anything. So let's we'll bless ourselves and each other. Go ahead and take a minute, rub your hands together, generate some warmth, which is not hard to do on this humid morning in Philadelphia. You are a bright light of divine love. Thank you for sharing your light with us, and welcome. All right, when we're in person in this next bit, we walk around hugging each other. While we're on Zoom, go in gallery view. If you're on a small device, you can scroll through and take a look at all the beautiful people that are here today while Dan sings us another song.
As I walk this wicked world, searching for light in darkness of insanity. Oh yeah, I ask myself, is all blood? Is there only pain and hatred and misery? oh yeah. But each time I feel like this inside, there's one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? As I walk through troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted. Sometimes, oh sometimes, where are the strong? Who are the trusted? Where is the harmony, sweet harmony? But each time I feel like this inside, just makes me wanna cry. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Ooh, so funny about peace, love, and understanding. Ooh, I'm strong. Who are the trusted? Where is the harmony, sweet harmony? But each time I feel like this inside, one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Ooh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Ooh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Understanding, brother. Understanding, sister. Understanding.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Beautiful, beautiful. And if I didn't mention, Dan Rendine's doing our music today, the wonderful Dan Rendine. We've got such great musicians that rotate through here in New Thought, Philadelphia. And if you weren't at the Spring Songs concert that we had, Dan was live, put together a little band, awesome set. So great to see you again, Dan. Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to do a little something we like to do. We're going to light the flames of faith. Benjamin's got the flame cam, and Nia's going to read for us.
Okay, good morning, everyone. All right. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God at the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Always like that bit. All right, so flames. Oh, reading. Yes. Michelle is going to read for us a selection. What's it from?
Oh,
Holmes.
it's from Ernest Holmes, A New Heaven on a New Earth. This was from scienceofmind.com, June 2025. Okay, a new heaven on a new earth. Heaven is where you'll be when you are okay, right where you are. From Sun Ra. The kingdom of heaven is that place within ourselves where there is universal and individual peace at all times. Peace that holds no doubt of our abiding good and wise divine protection. To enter, we must simply recognize that this kingdom exists and exactly where Jesus taught us to seek it, within ourselves. Ernest Holmes' question and answer on the science of mind. In Science of Mind's Declaration of Principles, Holmes stated, "We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. The question is, are we living as though we believe this? Are we embodying it as a spiritual truth that impacts and affects our daily lives? Especially considering there is no separation between what happens in church and out of church if God is omnipresent and omnipresence itself. If we accept what we see on the news, social media, the vast number of crime programs, and more, we would find it easy to believe that hell on earth is an unchangeable fact. How many physicians and nurses, the people who see sickness, pain, injuries, and disease, day in and day out, believe these conditions to be unchangeable? The fact that they work in medicine is a testament to the fact they believe something can be done to help their patients. Are we ready to adopt our faith in a similar way? Are we ready to move through our lives with such healing power and grace that in every room we enter, healing of body, mind, and soul takes place? Are we ready to let our lives be our amen? Are we ready to not just say a prayer, but to be a living prayer? Until all are okay with where they are and who they are, until all are free, there is healing work to be done. The affirmation is, I am a conscious expression of heaven on earth, and I bring this healing awareness into every room, every conversation, and every prayer I declare for the world. And so it is.
From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road, we'll be lovers once again on the bright side of the road. Little darling, come with me. Help me share my load. From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. Into this life we're born. Baby, sometimes we don't know why. Time seems to go by so fast. In the twinkling of an eye, let's enjoy it while we can. Help me sing my song from the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. Into this life we're born. Maybe sometime we don't know why. Time seems to go by so fast. In a twinkling of an eye, let's enjoy it while we can. Will you help me sing my song? Little darling, come along to the bright side of the road. To the dark end of the street, to the bright side of the road. Little darling, come on, go to the bright side of the road.
Thank you, Dan. Oh, that was wonderful. Yeah, bright side of the road. Well, I want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about healing, and it's something we've all, I'm sure, talked about, read about, thought about, and I'm going to put my my spin on it. It'll come through my filter, I suppose. Jesus said at the beginning, and this is something that Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science Mind, taught was healing is a revealing of the truth. So that sounds awesome, very pithy and esoteric. Healing is revealing of the truth. But what does that really mean? So I want to talk about revealing, and I'm going to talk about truth, and then sort of how do we get there. And revealing is an interesting thing when you think about it, because in show business and television and movies, it's like the big reveal, or the magician whips off the cape and something's there, or the guy from I forget, Ty Pennington, move that bus, right? And the bus moves, and there's the new house that someone built. And it can be a big reveal, but sometimes revealing can be a slow process as well. We use gardening metaphors a lot in New Thought, and from a seed that sits in the ground and germinates and starts to grow a little bit and pops through the ground, that starts to reveal the plant. And sometimes you don't even know what it is until it grows some more, and you realize, oh, it's a hosta, or it's some kind of other blooming plant, or it's a tree, or that was a weed. And sidebar, who gets to decide what's a weed and what's not a weed? Because dandelions are beautiful yellow flowers, and they get a bad rap. I just want to say that. But revealing can be something as simple as going to the sunny side of the street, right? When you think about it, there's shade because something's obstructing the sun, and you just cross the street and you can be in the sun. And I think about that. I used to work in Philadelphia a lot in the city. Sometimes I go in the office, not as much as I used to, but I would go out for lunch, and be in summertime, it'd be hot and sunny, and I have to keep my bald head covered. But I always knew if I walked on certain side of the streets going east and west, and a certain side of the streets going north and south, I could always be in the shade if I wanted to be, or I could cross the street and go to the sunny side of the street. So revealing can be as easy as decision as well. Um, my experience tends to be that things get revealed over time, like peeling back an onion is another great metaphor, and we uncover more layers and more layers of things. Um, so revealing can be sudden. It can take time, and it can be a conscious decision on our part to move ourselves to do something different. Um, so if healing is a revealing of the truth, that's revealing what is truth. Um, we can think about truth with a capital T, the highest and best and the ultimate truth that we believe. We believe there's one, as I said in the beginning, one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything. Um, and people also have their own individual truth. You hear people talk about, I need to speak my truth or I live my truth. So that can be what's true for us individually as we learn more about ourselves and the world, growing, I think, towards that capital T truth, which is something that I don't think we'll ever know consciously in this human form. I think it would just completely blow our minds. And we couldn't handle you can't handle the truth. Um, but when we think about prayer and using prayer to reveal the truth, and in New Thought, the different New Thought movements, different organizations talk about this idea of prayer differently. Um, in Unity, they talk about it affirmative prayer. In Centers for Conscious Living and sort of the traditional science of mind, they talk about spiritual mind treatment. And Reverend Bill and Dave, when they founded New Thought, sort of put a more modern spin on it and just called it practical prayer. But it's really holding an idea that's our highest and best, um, and using that to move our experience. Um, and it's about what we can believe, right? We can believe the truth, and it's healing is revealing of the truth. So if you've got some issue in your life, something that's going on that you want healing for, um, I find my tendency sometimes is to go to this ultimate highest and best. Like if it's a healing, like I've got some issues with some pain in my foot, right? So I could say, well, I'm absolutely pain free and I can go out and run a 10K tomorrow. But I don't really believe that because I have this experience of pain and physical pain and injuries over the years. In my experience, it takes time to heal, and you got to do physical therapy and do the right things and rest, ice compression, elevation, all the things that I know in my conscious mind that come up against and rub up against this ultimate truth that I am perfect, whole, and complete. And I believe there's a possibility that I could just go out tomorrow and run a 10K. The probability, I don't believe very much in at all. So I have to think about what's the most that I can believe about any given situation and then go 10% more. Right? And that's something that Reverend Bill talks about a lot is 10% more. So if I could really believe in this spontaneous healing of my feet and a spontaneous regeneration of my physical fitness and stamina and endurance, then maybe I could just go out and run a 10K. But I don't believe that. So my belief is that my foot will get better and I can work towards those things and I can do things. And I can pray and focus on the highest and best that my pain is going away and that these things that I'm doing are effective and treating this and that I am on the path and I can see that eventually I will get there, which is different than I'm just going to go out tomorrow and be there. So, and it's okay, I think, for us to think, uh, I can't. I think sometimes people struggle with prayer because they, in the 5 steps of practical prayer, we acknowledge the recognition God is. So recognize, God in all the beauty and wonder of the universe and spirit, whatever you want to call it. And then I am the aligning ourselves with that spirit. And then the realization, I know, like, what can I know? And that's where the challenge is. And it's okay to say, well, you have an idea where you want to be and it doesn't feel right and you're not comfortable saying that out loud. Maybe back off a little bit and see where your comfort is, and then step a little bit outside of that to grow and stretch that belief muscle, if you will. It's hard to say, oh, I am abundantly prosperous when, there's not enough money in your checking account to pay the rent. But you can be open to an increased flow of prosperity in your life. That's maybe easier than saying that, oh, I've got all the money I need when your bank account is telling you something different. So stretch that belief a little bit, step out of the comfort zone. Don't go so far that it's completely unbelievable for you, whatever your experience is. And this is what I have learned over the years through doing a lot of this work and going through practitioner training and knowing that I need to step out of my comfort zone to where I can believe in a little bit more and be okay with like not believing something that in my experience I can't wrap my head around. Because belief is vital. We can really believe and lean into and bring our full selves to is what's going to create that new experience for us in our lives. Um, and when we think about prayer, we've learned and New Thought teaches us there's 5 things we can pray about: health, wealth, relationships, our work in the world, which is different from wealth, and spirit, increasing our understanding, our experience, our awareness of our spiritual nature and the spirit of God and the universe around us. So those are the 5 areas. And if you really think about challenges in your life, you can put them into those 5 areas. And we're going to do Joe's going to lead us in a bit of a meditative practice. And I invite you to think about something in your life that's not quite how you want it to be. And think about the ultimate solution to that. What would be the most fullest realization of a change in that? And if you can really believe that with your whole heart, hold on to that. If you think like, I'm struggling with my work. I have a crappy job. I got nowhere to go. And your highest and best idea is that you're, leading a nonprofit that's doing wonderful work in the world. But you can't really understand how to get there. Maybe start with, that your next job is something that brings more good into the world, is more fulfilling, whatever that means. And take those steps towards the highest realization that you can have. So think about those health, wealth, relationships, your work in the world, and your experience of spirit. And Joe's going to lead us in meditation. And then we're going to do the candle lighting. I've got a candle here, which I light. Joe might have a candle. I don't know, Benjamin, if we can get the flame cam up and just kind of freeze it. And then Dan's going to sing us a song while we light the candle and sort of put our intentions into the world. And then Jesus is going to tie that all together with a prayer. So open yourself up, think about what your highest and best is, and stretch your belief muscle a little bit. What's the most you can believe about the good that's going to come into your life? Because you deserve it. Joe?
Thank you, Breen. And I have to confess that my candle failed me. I'm having technical difficulties with lighting my candle. So at any rate, I think as we go into a meditation, I want to remind you, it's easy to say that we're going to reveal the truth. But remember that there is that one power and presence. It has created us out of itself. So we have that power. We can use it. What we have to remember and accept is that we stand in the power and the presence of that one. Ground yourself as that standing in the power of that one. So find a comfortable position. Sit back, sit up, whatever is comfortable. Relax completely. And then breathe into the comfort of this moment. Be still and know that healing is happening. And affirm that God's healing love is at work in my mind, body, and spirit. You're so much more than a physical being. We are all more than a physical being. Remember that we are spirit with perfect wholeness. And then be aware of God's healing activity taking place from our head to our toes. Bless whatever hurts. Bless your relationships. Bless the world. If you feel there's a need for forgiveness, make a mental note. Think about that. It's something that has to be revealed and healed. Follow your intuition. Follow spirit. And give thanks as that divine mind shows you to your highest good. And know that healing is happening. Know that healing is always happening. That your divine essence, your inner beingness, is healed and whole. I give thanks that I am a rich child of a loving Father, heir to a kingdom of good here and now. I give thanks that I am open, receptive, and responsive to the wisdom and inspiration of Spirit. Spiritual understanding is now mine. I give thanks that all channels of supply are open to me now. I give thanks that new doors of good are open to me now, and I go forth with a confident spirit to claim my good. Breathe into that. We'll take some time to contemplate, and then we can light some candles. Remember, there's no power in the candle itself. It is a symbol, a focus point for the release of that intention. So when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back to the present moment here. And if you choose to light a candle, you can do that now. And as we do that, Dan will play us another song.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows. I sat upon the setting sun, but never, 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 I never wanted water once, but never, never, never. I listen, but my words fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam across the devil's lake, but never, 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 I'll never make the same mistake, but never, never, never.
Beautiful, 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 Dan. Thank you. Thank you, Joe, for that beautiful meditation. I believe each one here is a practitioner in their own way. Practitioner always working in their mind to reveal that perfect pattern in man. That's what we call revealing of the truth. Knowing your spiritual nature. A lot of times we are doing a lot of things, cleaning the dishes, washing the car, going to work, doing the groceries. But how many times are we conscious of our breath, our breathing, and that perfect pattern in us, our divinity, who we are? You don't think we could reach that level, but that's how we work. We go through a process of reasoning, logic, and argumentative. We argue with our own mind to reveal that truth, because that truth, when we know it, it will set us free. Because we are unified with the one. And like Breen was saying, it takes time. It's a process sometimes. Like faith without works is dead. I haven't seen faith ride in a car yet. So that's why things come instantly. But it's God that grants us the patience for the things that takes time. So we use reason and logic as far as how it could get us. And then we just jump overboard to the ocean of our being. We do things, but it's always a balance in life. Being. That's why we use meditation. You know, for those that expect the Lord, they should have new strength. They should mount the wings like eagles. That you run and not get tired. That you walk and not get worried. See, God doesn't sleep. God doesn't slumber. Spirit is always willing. Even in your sleep, He's giving you dreams. He's giving you inspiration. Because it's a spirit in man. And that spirit is God. And that spirit gives a man inspiration to go on, because God is infinite. So our journey is an infinite journey. So relax, rejoice, take your time. You don't need to rush, do this and do that. Whatever you could do tomorrow, why are you doing it today? So that revealing of the truth, that healing comes instantly to each one of us. It could be spiritual healing, physically healing, emotional healing, and mental healing. And we balance it together. And we see a perfect God, a perfect man, and a perfect being. So embody this beautiful talk that bring the meditation, the music, what we do here. You embody, you take that breath in, and you will heal instantly, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and you are walking in that perfection that God sees in you, not like the neighbor or the clerk or whoever. It's that God sees in you. Because when we see that perfection in other people, we see the perfection in ourselves. So I invite you to take another deep breath in, let it go, as Dan sings this beautiful song for each one of us. Rejoice. And again, I said, rejoice. Go ahead, Dan.
Ooh, Belle, the Lord and I have been friends for a mighty long time. Ooh, Belle, leaving him has never ever really crossed my mind. Let me say just one thing, I'd never go so far, 'cause it's him no matter who you are. Belle, oh it's you I want, but it's him that I need. I can take like a minute just to say now to Belle, the laughter of the sound is quieted down. Ooh, ooh, Belle, the best thing we could do is have him around. Let me say this one thing, I think if a love could have found, my heart was lost but now it's found. Belle, let's, you and I, let the love come down. I'm so happy, it seems so easy to me. We'll try to act naturally, but let's not waste each other's time. my Joe. Ooh, Belle. I know that you can understand this little country boy. He brought me safe thus far. The many drunk country bar. Bell. He's my bright morning star. He's my everything. He's my bright morning. I wanna say to Bell. He's my bright morning star.
Thank you, Dan. Daddy, great job. Beautiful. Ah, what a wonderful celebration. So there's a lot that we talked about between the music and the talk and the prayers and the meditation and a lot of stuff. So we'd like to open it up, see if anything's come up for you guys. If you want to share, we call this the wisdom share. You can share the wisdom that's bubbling up for you, Joe.
Well, I just need to give credit where credit is due for the wisdom, because as I prepped for today, I came across this lovely little booklet from Unity called Healing 1,000 Different Ways. And it was perfect for the meditation. So that's the source. It just spoke to me. So I wanted to give credit to it.
Beautiful. Inspirations everywhere. Thank you, Joe.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, man, go for it. Go.
And it involves brain. So the thing that came up for me today was how the truth really is that the perspective shift is what we're looking for. Not that, of course, we want things to change, and but it's the mentality change that really makes it like sweet. So last year, sometimes I had a couple of sessions with Breen, and we talked about my career and things like that. And I felt this barrier, and so we did prayer around it, and it all changed. But my perspective didn't change. I was like, this is a rough job, and I'm the first 6 months, but as time happens, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I don't feel that anymore. This is easy. I got this, and yes, the situation changed, but my perspective has changed. And so, thank you, Breen, on that.
Yeah, beautiful. Just letting it flow through me, man. It's all good. Doug, hey, man, how are you?
Hi, I have a question. Actually, it's more of a spiritual, religious type of thing. One of the 10 commandments is honor thy mother and thy father. But I grew up in a meshment of an internal family system. And for me to now heal after my mother died and get sober, I basically, if I were to speak in more of a Goodfellas, Sopranos type thing, I had to flip and turn informant and kind of go into witness protection, because I had to kind of give it up. I have to talk about what went on and the secrets and the image. They were projecting this perfect image and reputation that wasn't true. And now I have to, for my own healing, I have to talk about this. So am I betraying? I have to say the bad things that went on, the abuse that went on, but that's the people that were benefiting the golden child. They don't want that apple cart upset, so they're benefiting it from it. Whereas the scapegoat was the one who got blamed for falsely. So I was wondering if we're spiritually in that with the thing, if where I go with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, Doug, thank you, man. Thank you. So I think it's, we have to share our truth, our experience, our point of view. We can talk about things that happened without attaching what we perceive motives or thoughts behind them were, and share our experience, our reaction to that, the impact it's had on us, and how we're working through that. Because things that happened, and we all have our own. I know with my family, I have my thoughts about why my family did certain things, but it may not be true. I just know the things that happened and how I feel about them. So that's what I focus on in my healing journey is, you know, myself, my path forward, and what I want to experience differently as I work through those things. Thanks for sharing, Doug. Anybody else? Okay. The offering. Woohoo! Karen Judd, will lead us in offering.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gifts you share help fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. We'll say the affirmation together. I live in an abundant
Abundant
universe.
universe.
I am one
One
with the infinite source of all good.
I am a
I am the center of conscious
conscious
prosperity.
I
I
enjoy
enjoy the richness of life. I bless my gifts.
I
I
share
share my
gifts,
gratitude and joy. And I know that as I give, I receive, and so it is. Amen.
Fantastic. Go ahead and mash that mute button one more time as Dan brings us home with another song.
If I could reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining in my heart, so you could see the truth. And this love I have inside is everything it seems. But for now I find it's only in my dreams I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. If I could be king, even for one day, I'll take you as my queen. I have it no other way. And our love would rule in this kingdom we have made. Till then I'll be your fool, reaching for the day that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think our love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world.
Thank you, Dan. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Wow, great time. I invite you to unmute and virtually join hands or consciousness with everybody around you here in the Zoom and repeat after me. I stretch my belief muscle.
I
Stretch my belief muscle.
The truth is revealed.
The
The
truth
is revealed.
And I can change my world.
And
I can change my world.
And so I do.
And so I do.
And so it is.
And so it is.